Welcome to the Founder Talk Show, Hrish.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, Major.
Perfect. So let's start by understanding what SuperWorld is all about. I mean, we hear about the metaverse, and now we hear about SuperWorld, and I've been seeing, following you on various global channels and social media, and also on real world, where I see so much talk around metaverse and SuperWorld. So why don't you start about telling us about what SuperWorld is all about?
SuperWorld is a virtual world mapped on top of the real world, which means that we're in it right now. It's all around us. You have a world, I have a world, brands have worlds. We're often called the gateway to the metaverse because our users often come to SuperWorld and are very excited about buying virtual land in SuperWorld, which again occupies the real world, and then going into other platforms, buying crypto, getting into DeFi. So this is kind of the pathway to getting into the metaverse. But if I were to very high level describe what SuperWorld is about, I use a three-pronged analogy. The first part of it is Pokemon Go, the analogy for enabling anyone to create, discover, and monetize anything around them in the real world in augmented reality. The second analogy is Foursquare. That's a data analogy. We want users to earn crypto for using SuperWorld. And so the concept here is live to earn, not play to earn. How do we take real life user activity, our real life passions, things that we do that we love in our real life, and take tokenomic mechanisms and incentivize behavior, right? And then a big part of that data analogy is how do we actually also build a better world? How do we improve the real world? As an example of that, when you buy a plot of virtual land in SuperWorld, we plant a tree in the real world. We're partnered with the World Bank in the Caribbean. We're partnered with the United Nations and UNESCO. The idea is, can we use these technologies to actually build a better world? That's our why. And then the third analogy is monopoly. We've taken the surface of the earth and we've divided it into 64 billion virtual blocks of land. Each block is a unique digital asset covering the surface of the earth, 100 meter by 100 meter blocks. And if you buy any of these blocks, you get a share of all of the economics that happens there: advertising, e-commerce, digital commerce, data, analytics, and gaming. And you become a key stakeholder on the platform. We're tokenizing. We'll launch a public token in the next few months. And really, we enable anyone to create digital assets anywhere. So we have an NFT marketplace, so you can create digital assets. And again, we're opening up the gateways into getting into decentralized finance and governance. And so again, to highlight and summarize, we're a virtual world mapped on top of the real world, enabling anyone to create, discover, monetize anything, anywhere, and own the world around them.
Well, Hrish, that's a lot of things to assimilate and understand, because metaverse is very new for all of us here. So what you're saying is, in a way, you're kind of bringing virtual world and real world together. And also, one thing I understood from your talk is you're also removing the excuse for parents to stop their kids from playing games, because now you say they're also monetizing it. Is that correct?
This is a very interesting question that you brought up. I have two kids, and I'll kind of comment on that in a second. I'll answer the first question. So the first question, or the first comment, is yes, you're exactly right. We're bringing together the virtual and the physical and the virtual. How do we, again, enable and incentivize behavior that we are all passionate about in our individual lives, things that you love doing, things that I love doing. How do I earn crypto for doing those things? How do I, again, create positivity for the world through these mechanisms? So how can I make a social impact by doing the things that I'm doing collectively across the world, all of us as users? Number two, your point about kids. like I said, I have two kids, and a big part of our vision is, what we want to do is build a life enhancing platform and not a life escaping platform. The last thing I want to do, Major, is build a platform that sucks my kids into a virtual world. That is not what we want to do. It might sound ironic, but we're building a virtual world that enhances our real world and people's real lives. And so to that point, again, we want to keep the kids in the real world. But we want to, if I could have Nike pay for you to go for a run or participate in a sports team where you're doing things outside in the real world, I think we're more oriented towards those types of tokenomic mechanisms. But however, if you do want to go virtual, if you do want to create an avatar and do something in a totally virtual 3D world, you can do that in SuperWorld as well. But again, we want to be really focused on making sure all this behavior is real world enhancing, real life enhancing.
Oh, interesting. And I'm happy to hear, how you're trying to, use it for the children where it is more life enhancing rather than sucking them into the virtual world. That's really, nice to hear. So would you say for people like us, my generation, that what you're doing is also an asset? Can you call it an asset? Investing in virtual world?
So we're structured as a non-fungible token on the real estate side of SuperWorld, where again, you're buying digital assets that cover the surface of the earth. Those digital assets can be repriced and sold. And again, you're the owner of those assets because we're decentralized. And by owning those assets, you're able to, choose your price at which you want to resell. And again, you can, work with buyers in our marketplace who potentially would give you offers as well. And so part of the real estate side of what we're doing is creating a very robust property virtual real estate marketplace. We're working with Stephen Wolfram Blockchain Labs, which will enable buyers and sellers to have a lot more data, as well as being able to again make buying and selling decisions in a more informed way based on real world activity. So if you're buying a park in Mumbai, you'll have an understanding of what's happening in the real world in that park or that part of the city, and be able to make data decisions on that side on the real estate. And then again, you have the ability to create all types of digital assets yourself. So on the NFT marketplace, you can create your own NFTs, which are your own programmable digital assets that you can sell. And as an owner of those assets, you have the ability to, again, create the pricing around that, help create distribution. We'll help do that as well. But SuperWorld is an NFT powered world across, even fundamentally down to the platform. The platform of SuperWorld is based on NFTs. And so back to your question, these are digital assets that you're buying and selling.
Well, so at this point in time, you can only pay through NFTs. In many countries, cryptocurrencies are not yet legal. Is that an hindrance to the growth of SuperWorld, likes of SuperWorld?
So you can access SuperWorld utilizing a variety of wallets and mechanisms. So we have an integration with BitPay, which allows you to use any type of crypto. We have an integration with MoonPay that allows you to use any type of fiat currency as well. So you do not necessarily need crypto to access SuperWorld. You can utilize fiat. You can use any type of crypto, and currently we're built on Ethereum. However, that being said, our vision is blockchain interoperability. So we're again opening up to other crypto in terms of our protocol. So we're integrating with Solana. We'll be integrating with Polygon as a layer 2 solution. But all in all, our vision is, wherever you are, whatever currency you want to use, crypto or not crypto, you can interact in SuperWorld.
So you talked about monopoly. So I just
Yeah.
want to touch upon that. Uh, do you think in the virtual world you could create likes of SuperWorld or ripoffs of SuperWorld?
Well, again, like any platform or any technology, technology is something that you can kind of build on. I think even SuperWorld is built on Apple, Google, Oculus, Mapbox, Bing Maps, Unity, Unreal. So the platform of SuperWorld really brings together a lot of technologies foundationally. And so, and we're building a lot of proprietary tech as well. And so, again, others can build anything you want. You can build a TikTok if you want. You can build a Facebook or a search engine. However, I think that there's a lot of things that we're doing on the proprietary side and bringing all these technologies together in a very, interesting way that provides some unique benefits. We're also very much building a community, and that's very powerful. We have a movement, and the movement is we're not just a technology. We're not just a technology company. But we're people around the world coming together to leverage these technologies, AR, VR, blockchain, AI, and likely other technologies, IoT, BCI in the future, brain-computer interface. All of these technologies will be leveraged to, again, empower people in their real lives and to build a better world. And so that's the really expansive aspect of what we're doing, is it's not just a technology that you build and replicate, but it's a community of people that have come together very organically because we believe that people should be empowered in their lives, in their daily lives. The metaverse should not be this thing that we're trying to get to artificially, but should be a thing that actually benefits our real life. And then how do we, again, leverage these technologies to actually improve the world? And that's something that everyone, regardless of whether you're creating another technology company in the space, whether you're doing something in crypto that could be additive to what we're doing, we're very open. So we've created a very, very open metaverse, and we're partnered with many of the virtual worlds out there, just so you know. Again, we're very close to Sandbox and others in the ecosystem, and really love the work that they're doing. And so SuperWorld is going to be that gateway to getting to other virtual worlds. And some of them might have similar technological features as what we're doing, but that's the essence of what we're doing is much more expansive.
Yeah. You also made a mention of, you've been having this series of meetings with investors. Given the fact that metaverse is a very new and emerging concept, how has been the response of investors towards the SuperWorld?
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. The themes that we're out there in the market talking about, the strategies that we're employing, the investor partners that we already have on board. Tim Draper is an investor, Draper Going Home, SOSV, Outlier, Redbeard Ventures, Cadenza Venture Capital, White Paper Capital. We have a Predictive Capital. We have a lot of really awesome people involved in the company. And so the idea for us is, if we have such an expansive vision like we do, empower people and empower the world, we really want the smartest, the best, the most long-term oriented investors on board. And so for us, we've been very lucky to be able to, again, have a vision that I think really resonates with investors, that really brings a variety of diverse stakeholders involved into SuperWorld. And so I would tell you that the conversations that we have with investors go exceedingly well. And when people hear about our mission, to build a better world, to enhance people's lives. I mean, literally anyone I talk to raises their hand and wants to figure out how they can help. I just joined the Senior Leader Network at Conscious Capitalism, and again, bringing a lot of these frameworks about making an impact on the world as part of our vision, and doing that in a very strategic sense across the company. So I think there's a lot of things that people are realizing that now is the time to build a company this way, to have a platform, a world, if you will, build a new world that, again, really enables us to leverage the opportunities that these technologies now can afford us. And again, to bring accessibility for everyone into a platform. And that's why people call us the gateway to the metaverse, is because SuperWorld enables anyone to join this movement, to join into these technologies, to empower themselves with DeFi and other things that are available with AR, VR, and so back to your question, I think that the investors also are very wholeheartedly impassioned about what we're building. So that's very exciting.
So the next destination for SuperWorld, would it be the space? Because that's where everybody seems to be going. Would we be able to buy a piece of land on the moon?
The way this, and I get that question a lot, and the two answers to that is, one, to be clear, the way the virtual land in SuperWorld works is, if you own land, you get a share of the monetization that occurs anywhere on the planet Earth, right? Because people live on Earth right now, and that's where they're creating monetization. So, we wouldn't expand that model until we have enough people on Mars or other planets to create monetization on those planets. But when that happens, we'll definitely, again, be able to apply this model to anywhere in the solar system or universe. But that being said, the idea is that in SuperWorld, you can go totally virtual with any type of content. And so, us as SuperWorld or other developers can build, virtual solar systems where you can visit other planets, and you can create a game where people can own other planets or interact with other planets utilizing the blockchain. And so I guess the real answer to you is that the opportunities to explore the universe are limitless in SuperWorld.
Our audience and the people who are going to be living in the super world going forward will explore all the opportunities that are there. Finally, MyStartup TV is a channel for startups and early stage startups like yours. What are your thoughts about what we are doing as a channel?
I really love what you are building here at the channel, and I think that education is a very important aspect of getting more and more people excited about these technologies, and being able to, create a platform like you have that brings together diverse communities that are interested in technologies, that are interested in, how we are collectively shaping the future of the metaverse and all of these other corresponding technologies, how we're bringing, communities together of all ages into these worlds and into SuperWorld, I think are all very important, because again, we're for us, it's really about stakeholder capitalism and bringing together communities and stakeholders across geographies, across demographics, across professions, interests groups, etc. And I think you guys do a really amazing job of bringing people that are passionate about these topics together to get informed, to get entertained, to learn, to interact, and to bring these products to them, and so they can experience them. And in our case, hopefully join as super citizens into SuperWorld and help us as a community tackle these challenges. So I really appreciate the work that you and your team are doing. Thanks again, Major. It's very exciting to be able to be on the show and share our vision of building a better world. So thanks for that opportunity.
Thank you, Hrish. Thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to be on our show. And we look forward to being part of this, not just be part of the super world as super citizens, as you call them, also contribute in our own little way by creating awareness about the super world.
Yeah, it's great. Again, I'm really appreciative of that, and it's always great to partner with amazing people like yourself who've really led the way here around the world. I know you're doing a lot of traveling this week, and again, thanks again for all that we're doing. I think collectively, we all kind of work together to make this happen. So again, appreciate your help and support at SuperWorld.